Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Captain Swan podcast number 88. We are here to discuss the second episode of season 6. I'm Serena, Savior out on Tumblr, and here are the people with me today.
Hi, I'm Lisa, and you brought me home.
Hi, I'm Maya, and I'm also Swan.
Hi, I'm Michelle, and I'm to the end of the world or time.
Hi, I'm Ro, and I am Ginny Jinx and Handshot Reversed on Tumblr.
One day you're going to get so messed up with your URL, and I'm going to laugh
remember.
a lot.
Okay, so before we start, I just wanted to remind everyone that you can subscribe to our YouTube channel and to get a notification every time we post a new episode, because we are going to be posting it on YouTube, just on YouTube from now on. Okay, so we have a lot of questions today. But first
and we should have a disclaimer that we are not discussing 603. It is out there. It was screened at New York Comic Con. We are not going to be discussing it. So if you're avoiding spoilers, if any of us have read the spoilers or whatever, please don't mention them.
Yeah, because we know everything about the episode, basically, and so that wouldn't be discussing spoilers. It would just be, it wouldn't be speculation, so it's not even really fun. Anyway, we will be discussing it next week. I wanted to ask because I thought you guys did everyone ate the episode? Because I saw a bit of negativity earlier today. Did anyone like it?
I didn't hate it.
Yeah.
I liked parts of it. But I was just bored. Like, I didn't hate it or like it. I was just bored.
It was just boring.
Also, kind of discouraged that that's all they could do with the Count of Monte Cristo with such a great story. And that's what they did with him? Really?
Well, yeah, because we actually have our very first question is about the poor Count.
Okay, so let's start then.
Okay, this first one's on the poor Count of Monte Cristo. It's from Daniela, who is not with us today. What do you guys think of the Count of Monte Cristo and his story in this episode?
Okay, did anyone watch a movie, read about the Count of Monte Cristo? What were your preconceptions?
Yes. Well,
yes, I've read and I've also seen.
Yes, I've seen the movie too.
I read the books a long time ago. I barely remember them, but the movie, actually, I deeply loved the movie, so I'm excited for this. After watching the episode, not so much.
You were let down.
Yeah, I mean, the actor was good. I got excited because of the Legend of the Seeker guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I felt like, first of all, the part is that he does everything without anyone finding out that it was him. He doesn't jump in front of everyone and say, "It was me." No, that's kind of the point. Then he keeps picking off his enemies, and nobody really knows who it is. Because he doesn't reveal that he's Edmond Dantes until the end. Mm-hmm. And he doesn't kill him just like that in one swoop. No, he makes him suffer.
What were you saying?
I just feel bad for Craig Horner because he was such a great actor on Legends of the Seeker. And he's Australian.
Okay.
Right, Ro?
And so is Aladdin.
Yes. I'm so excited.
Anyone else? Lisa or Michelle?
I have read and I have seen, and I dearly love the film. I am well aware that in Once Upon a Time that they tend to, alter things in certain ways to fit their narrative or whatever, to give it that Once Upon a Time flair. This was a little too much for my liking. I thought Craig Horner did a great job. I wish that he wouldn't have gotten killed so that he could stay. I would have liked to have seen more of his character. I mean, because I love the story. Like what I was saying, him just walking into the ballroom and saying, "I did it. It's me. You're dead. I'm gonna make you suffer now." That was like totally deflated the story, because the whole point in him reamassing. First of all, the one thing that they got wrong was before all that happened to him was he did not have a personal fortune. He was a poor sailor, and I think that he would have probably gotten along with Killian pretty well to bond over that. He was a poor sailor who was convicted of a crime that he didn't commit and thrown into prison for 10 years. And then the guy that did it, who was his best friend, went and married his girl, who he was supposed to marry. And then they had, well, at least in Edmund's mind, they had a child, when in reality the child was Edmund's. But anyway, I know that they put a little touch on these stories, but this one got skewed so much, it didn't even look like the Edmund Dantes story at all. Because
yeah, it was a guy with the name Edmund Dantes.
Pretty much, because when he amassed that fortune and became the Count of Monte Cristo, his point was to be so insidious that he could make this guy suffer for so long, and then at the end kill him. It wasn't until the end when he realized through the girl that the boy was his son that it made him stop. So for them to say that the wife was already dead, I'm like, that's not how it went. You took the whole story and you screwed it up.
Well, now
to fit your whole revenge narrative so that the queen would be able to convince him. It was so ridiculous.
Well, not only that, they then had him like go back on all this to save a plot device that we've never seen before, like the Charlotte person. I'm like, when in the heck did Snow have time in the midst of all this, fighting against Regina to get a handmaiden? And where did this girl come from? Like, she just appeared out of nowhere.
I think one of my favorite parts of watching this episode was everyone on Tumblr and Twitter just confused about where this woman came from.
I don't see why it's such a big deal. I mean, she's a princess. She's a princess. She has servants. Who cares?
But we've never seen that. But okay, not only that, but then they're in the middle. They find Edmund in the middle of a village that has been destroyed, and Charming is talking about getting a wine cellar. Like, what the hell? Your people are suffering, and you're talking about getting servants. That is fucked up.
Just the fact that every time they see Regina destroying a village or killing someone, their reaction is always, well, if we stop her, we are just playing our game. We win by being happy. No, you don't. You win by not letting her murder people. That's how you win. You don't even have to kill her. Just
put her in jail.
Put her in jail. Yeah. Now they are also morally against jail. I mean, why?
It makes no sense.
It's basically the Marie Antoinette saying, "Let them have cake."
Yeah.
That's exactly what it sounds like.
Except he was misunderstood. And
Snow nor Charming any favors, and that bugs me because I love Snow and Charming. Except when they act like this.
You guys know I'm the biggest Charming supporter. Snow, not so much, but Charming's my man, dude. Like Charming, not even I can defend that. And that's just sad.
Honestly, whoever wrote for Snow and Charming in season 2, when we got all those flashbacks about them putting her in prison, and Snow was trying to be kind to her because she was her stepmother and she didn't feel right about killing her, but in the end, they wanted to give her a second chance, but she tried to kill Snow anyway, and then they banished her and all this. I'm like, all those people who were involved in writing that Snow and Charming flashback, why can't they be here in season 6 now? Because it seems like, I don't know if the writers left and new writers came in and just didn't realize the continuity or what, but it's like they didn't do their homework.
Okay, I'm going to say something really basic. And Serena is going to enjoy it. I'm going to say something really basic. Serena is going to laugh and enjoy it, probably. Yeah. Because Reds go out of a sinking ship, dude.
Okay,
but the first three was actually the only thing is Jane. Every other episode, it's like, are you kidding me? And we're so stuck on this Regina is good narrative that anyone else who fights that, like anyone who's a new writer, it's like, oh, Regina is good, okay. We need the flashback to kill that.
Okay, but actually, I don't agree with Lisa's premise that that episode was good, because actually, in my opinion, that episode was the beginning of the problems with how they wrote Snow and Charming. Because it was in that episode that they let her go after finding out that she couldn't kill them anymore, and it's a problem because she couldn't kill them, but she can kill everyone else in the world. Yeah,
exactly.
and that's my problem. That's my problem with them. Not if Regina had proven that the only person she was willing to kill was Snow and maybe Charming. If she had just a one track and had never killed anyone, I could say, okay, fine. She only tried to kill you. You want to let her go. You don't want to do anything to her. Fine. It's your right to forgive her. But she has killed thousands of people. She has killed children. She has killed whole villages. You don't get to forgive her.
Can we talk about how ridiculous that the evil queen likes children thing is?
Well, no.
I guess that means that that Snowing hasn't been written very well since season 1. Then.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is they're essentially making Snow and Charming complicit in Regina's crimes by having this go on like this.
Yes, I agree.
Well, at least in this episode, they came out and said, "Hey, it would have been nice to know if there was people from that land who may or may not still have it out for us because of you." I swear, oh God, when she said, well, it's not like they succeeded, that kind of reminded me of what she said to Snow in 5B when Snow was upset and she went up there to talk to her. It was almost like she was saying, well, did you die? It was no big deal because all the people that she hired to kill them failed. As if it doesn't matter that she hired people to kill them. It's like,
let's talk about how Charming is actions. Okay, and then when Charming is like, okay, tell us everyone. No, because I'm trying to put it behind me.
That's like, no.
Like, seriously?
That's not how this works.
One thing I will say, I still think it's very in character for Snow and Charming to have a servant sit with them because they were seeing Charlotte off. You would never catch someone like Regina doing that. But Snow and Charming, they're just so humble. They accept everybody. And I think that's what Snow's mother tried to teach her and what she learned about equality. Unfortunately, that also meant you should treat people equally, including your psychotic stepmother.
Ding, ding, ding.
And the second thing I thought about the storyline with the Count was that it seems to me they have stopped doing what they did in season 1 with the one-off characters, which was subverting the original story. So we had Red, who was the werewolf, and other examples like this. They're starting to just take the stories and tell them like they were. They don't have the twists, the clever twist of the stories anymore. They're just like they were, or they are completely different. But it's not a twist to just give a character the same name and a completely different personality. So I think that's what, yeah, that's what, because Robin Hood wasn't a twist. If you wanted to do, this Robin Hood is actually falling in love with a queen, you could do a twist like that, but they just didn't take advantage of the storyline. They just ignored it.
Yeah, like Robin Hood would ever cheat on Marion.
All right, well, we've got more
stuff. I guess the only really difference is that Mercedes was dead in this version.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there was no other chick like in the book.
That's why I didn't agree with the way that they played out this Edmond Dantes thing, because they were trying to make it look like he would have killed anybody that got in the way of his revenge. And I'm like, you just killed your revenge. What else do you have left? Not only that, Edmond Dantes might have been okay with destroying the people that were responsible for what happened to him, but Edmond Dantes was not the type of person who would kill someone who was innocent at all. So for them to make it seem like he would kill Snow and Charming just on the mere promise of being able to get his revenge, that's like a wholesale destruction of the way that the character was meant to be written.
Like in Robin Hood.
Okay, let's go to the next question because we have a lot.
Okay, these next two are pretty much the same, and they're on what everybody seems to agree was the best part of the episode, Belle and Killian. First one is from Anonymous. Can we talk about Belle and Killian's character development? And then the second one is from Daniela. What are your thoughts on Hook's speech about redemption and regrets on the Jolly Roger with Belle?
Ro, what do you think?
It's amazing what coming back to life will do for you.
Okay, I'm gonna have to leave in like 5 minutes and come back. So can I say the next?
Okay.
I'm glad we got the question in.
All I gotta say is the Queen needs to take a page out of the Pirates book, because Killian Jones didn't need to alter a story in a book to get his happy ending. Killian Jones didn't need to separate the good from the bad part of him, because Killian Jones owns his mistakes. Thank you very much. Killian Jones actively works on his own redemption by trying to by not only trying to do good things so that people will forgive him for what he's done, but also so that he'll be able to forgive himself. Regina, take the page out of the Pirates book, because obviously you don't know what the fuck you are doing. That was a perfect Killian Jones scene, and the perfect proof right there that the man has the best redemption arc on the whole show. And if one more fucking person says he has not apologized enough for his actions,
okay, let me
like,
talk.
Click, watch that scene, done.
Okay, time to go. Okay, here's the thing. If you want to see more, I thought it was perfect because he showed remorse. He was apologetic, and he said something very key. My journey to redemption is not complete. And no, apologizing is only the first step. Although Killian is like in the fourth step. Like Killian is so close to redemption, but he hasn't forgiven himself, which is good. Well, not good, but I mean, it shows that he actually cares about what he did, and he actually worries about it. Unlike other people who are like, wait, I don't want to talk about it. So can we pretend it didn't exist? And if you want to hear more about it, I literally focused my review on it, so check it out on Word and Nerd. My T, Once Upon a Time review. The story of redemption. Regina versus Killian, basically. Okay, I have to go right now, but otherwise my parents will kill me, but I'll be back in like 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay, Michelle, what do you think?
Well, I mean, I don't think it was Killian coming back from the dead. I think this is what he would have done anyway. Like, this isn't a consequence of coming back from the dead. This is who he is now. That he's, still that redemption is a journey, not a destination, and that he's going to be on this path for the rest of his life, and he's committed to it, which is what's important. And he feels, he has expressed remorse about the things he did to Belle. He's apologized for what he did to Belle. We forgiven him for the things that he did, but he still felt that it needed to be said. All that said, it's so weird. I wish they wouldn't have had that scene on the deck of the Jolly Roger. I wish they would have had it down. They had that where she said that his heart was rotten. I think that would have been much more powerful have that scene down in the hold where they initially had their first confrontation and Belle first said those things to him. So it just would have been more powerful to me and plus poor Colin would not have had to squint through the entire scene because the sun was in his face. But that's just me.
Okay, does anyone have anything else to say about these questions?
Well, that's not quite what I meant. I meant like this guy's been given like a second chance and he's not going to waste it being selfish or thinking about himself like a certain other person who will remain nameless, but we know who that person is.
And the most important thing to remember, and I want to put this to certain members of the fandom who, you know, live in their own fantasy lands and seem to refuse to. Him doing this for Belle and making amends to all these people that he's wronged has nothing to do with trying to curry favor in Emma's eyes. And him wanting to redeem himself has nothing to do with wanting to be the right man for Emma. Now, that might be a tiny part of it, but the biggest part of it is he's doing this for himself because he wants to be the man that he used to be before he became the pirate, the man that he lost when Liam died. For anybody to watch this, especially this scene, and still believe that he's doing it for selfish reasons just to get in Emma's pants or some other bullshit, lives in their own fantasy world because it's not true.
Okay, then let's go to the next question.
Okay. Let me see. Okay, these two are about the infamous Operation Cobra Part 2. So let me read them. First one's from Anonymous. Hey, ladies in row, you try so hard to watch the show as a whole, but after this episode, I can't deal. This whole episode was vomit-worthy to me. The only thing that was good was CS, Charming, Badass Knowing, and Captain Beauty. I honestly think I can't handle a whole season of Regina realizing that she can't split her evil self away. Henry can go away somewhere for giving Operation Cobra to Regina. Only because she split herself in half doesn't make her a motherfucking hero. And this other one is from Shannon, who also is not with us today. She says that it was a pretty shitty episode. I realized that wasn't a question, but I felt the need to recap. Also, what is the deal with Henry renaming Operation Cobra Part 2 again? Have Adam and Eddie once the name was taken seriously? What the fuck?
Okay, who wants to start?
I'm going to chalk this up to like a... Okay. Go ahead.
At first, I thought I was hallucinating because when he said Operation Cobra Part 2, I was like, wait a minute, did we have that already? Did everybody... happening? And then I just rolled my eyes and was like, of course they're giving it to Regina. Screw this crap. The thing that really bugs me though is the fact that Adam said in an interview that it was Emma and Henry, but it's clearly Regina and Henry. So what the fuck? Know your own show, people.
Yeah, I mean, is it that difficult to find the name, another name of an animal for this operation?
These people can't even keep their continuity intact, like, for more than 5 seconds. So when it comes to, pieces of information like that, and they need a fan to, like, write out a detailed timeline of not just dates, but also important facts, like this happened here and this there, so that they'll be able to have it all straight.
That's the thing, though. This didn't happen in, like, season 2. This happened last year. This happened in 5/11, for Pete's sake.
I guess that means the writers just it must be one of those things where they write an episode and then as soon as it's done, it's like chink boom gone. They divest their brain of whatever was in there, and as soon as they finish with it, so they won't have all that stress. So they forget those particular pieces of information. I don't think that they're purposely trying to, like, give everything to Regina. I think I'm going to chalk it up to just not taking the time to read through past scripts and making sure that your continuity makes sense.
You don't even have to read through past scripts. Go look on Once Upon a Time Wikipedia. Like, they have their own wiki. Look it up on there.
This is true. This is true.
Like, seriously. It's not hard. I mean, fanfic writers do it all the time. Just look stuff up on the wiki.
Anyway, yeah.
No opinions on this?
Oh, he has opinions.
What are your opinions?
It doesn't surprise me one bit that Regina found a way to make this all about her. These people have untold stories. I want to have my own story. It's all about me. Me. Splitting herself from the evil queen didn't change her that much.
Yeah, at least the evil queen isn't whining. At least we don't have to. Anyway, let's go to the next question.
Okay, these next two are also related, so I'll read them together. The first one is from Anonymous. Is anyone else scared that this whole evil queen Regina fucking up the show we fell in love with 6 years ago? And is the show trying to destroy itself slowly?
I mean, yeah, since season 2. It's not, I don't know, I guess obviously people didn't like this episode, but I didn't think it was that much worse than the general quality of Once Upon a Time episodes of the last, I don't know, 3-4 years. And it was better than many episodes of 3B and 4B.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, at least I remember in last season, season 5, we had a similar the Regina episode at the beginning of the season was somehow similar. We had the Percival, and at least I remember that episode really made me mad because of that stupid Regina can't dance thing. At least this episode didn't make me mad. So yeah,
I think mostly what it is that people have evil queen fatigue.
Sure, yeah.
They have evil queen fatigue, and they're just like, the writers think that the evil queen is such a delicious character that they could not resist bringing her back, except for the fact that the fans are over it. Like, the fans are largely over Regina's whining. They're over endless flashbacks to the evil queen. Again, especially in an episode where the evil queen was centric, because they had to. Evil queen was back. It was just boring. Like, the whole it was boring because I don't care about the evil queen. At least episodes that involve characters that I care about are actually have the opportunity to be better. But this is just boring as crap.
It's kind of like watching The Bear and the Bow, I guess. Or what was it, episode 9, which had none of the cast members in it except for the Wicked Witch and Arthur, and it was just really, really boring. Seconds. Yeah, my issue with this episode was I feel like it was poorly edited again. I swear to God, whoever edits these episodes, I don't know if they're like smoking a toke or something, or they do this while they're drunk, or they just figured I'm not getting paid enough for this shit, so I'm just gonna make it look like crap. After the scene where Emma takes her parents to safety, you would think that if someone was trying to murder your family, you'd want to stick with them no matter what. And yet, when it comes down to the major fight, Emma is nowhere to be seen. And the fact that the fight takes place on the docks where Killian is, because he's with Belle, and he just doesn't even notice.
Oh, and not only that, but Emma drives the sheriff's cruiser right up to the right into the barrier. Shouldn't Tree Dopey be on the other side of the barrier? Shouldn't they be able to see him? So they said we were gonna find out what happened to Dopey. Yet there's no Dopey. So what the hell, people?
As soon as they did that with the bear, I'm like, oh great, the usual every season excuse for why they can't leave Storybrooke again.
Well, not only that, but I'm confused. I mean, Emma said that this is like the barrier you used to keep everybody in before, except for the fact that with that one, people got close to it and they had an accident. Not they ran directly into it and crashed.
But then when she got there and started to accept the fact that she was going to stay there, the barrier weakened and people were allowed to go through it, but if they did, they would lose their memories.
Yes.
So I don't see how it didn't cause a car, the cruiser to turn, it didn't cause cars to turn into crumple zones. That's not what was supposed to happen. Again, continuity shit was fucked up.
Oh dear.
Yes. I was just mad that you got this guy who's trying to rip your parents' hearts out and kill them because he's been contracted by Regina, and you drop them off somewhere and are like, well, I'll see you later.
Go see the cricket.
I've got to go see Archie. Have fun. Good luck. See you later. I'm like, what the fuck? Why would you leave your parents when they're about to be killed?
That's like when Killian disappeared in 505 last year. Like, where did he go? Oh, they can't be here because the plot dictates they can't. So let's not explain where they are.
I mean, I know that they want to do this whole Emma mental issue thing going on, but knowing Emma, she would not put the tremor stuff in front of her parents' lives. She would stay by them and make sure that they're okay. But I guess they needed to have her out of the way so that Queen could have her shining defense moment at the end to save their life and blah, blah, blah.
Although I do appreciate that JMO seems to have changed the line from the script, that in the script tease, Emma says, I promised Regina I would take you somewhere safe, and in the episode she says, I told Regina I would take you somewhere safe, and then she just got off talking on the phone with her. So yay!
I didn't notice that. That is so much better.
Because the other way made no sense. Like, why are you promising Regina that you take them somewhere safe? That makes no sense.
I still can't conceive.
This title is just so fitting because it just leaves a bitter taste in your mouth.
But I still just can't conceive that this massive fight could happen at the docks and Killian not notice. From where, I mean, he's there. He's at the fucking docks. How could he not notice? He might not have been able to do anything to stop it, but he's still there, and I'm sure that he would have come running to defend them. There's no way that he would not.
Well, no, because then they would have had to give Colin a sword, and they would have needed to find some way to incapacitate him so that Queen could have her moment.
So they just made it easy by getting rid of everybody.
Yes, see, that's another thing. So Regina feels remorse for this person she just killed to save Snow and Charming. I don't see any character development in that because she's ripped her evil self. She's not fighting her evil side anymore. I mean, okay. When she agreed to help Snow save both her and Charming by splitting their heart and sharing it between them, that was actually better than what they're doing with her now. This is just regression, and I don't think even her fans should be happy with it.
I think they want to do a psychological exploration of Emma, and in theory I'm all for it, but in practice they don't have the talent to do it. They just can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's not their forte. So I mean, I feel like I should say yes, this is a good plot, but in theory it is. But if they end up ruining it, it's not that good. So yeah, I hope in the following episode it will improve. I think there. Yeah.
And the other thing that made no sense, that was just a glaring what the fuck, was when Rumpelstiltskin.
Oh wait, we have a question. We have a question about Evil Queen and Rumple.
Yeah.
This isn't about that, but when Rumpelstiltskin convinces the Count to go to the Land of Untold Stories in order to save Charlotte so that she won't die, and he opens up the portal for them to go, and I'm like, hold up. You spent how long trying to get a fucking portal to go to the real world so that you could save your fucking son and couldn't do it, but you can, in 5 seconds, you can go boom and open up a portal to the Land of Untold Stories? What the fuck, Chuck?
Yeah, in theory, there is an explanation for that.
I am partly, you miss me.
Yeah, we missed you. In theory, there is an explanation for that. The reason he couldn't open a portal to find Neil was because the portal he needed was to the land without magic. So he couldn't open a portal to a land that had no magic.
Well, not only that, was he didn't want to give up his power. He wanted to find Neil and keep his power at the same time, and just opening a regular portal that would drop him in the middle of Kansas would not allow him to keep his power because it's the land without magic.
Yeah, exactly.
Bagel wanting
Okay,
to go
what
there.
was the question?
We kind of lost ourselves from the question to complaining about Rumple portals.
It was about how easy Rumple opened the portal to the Land of Untold Stories. And I was just like, oh, he knows it exists? Why am I not shocked?
Honestly, I'm not shocked in the line because, like you said, Rumple knew every single portal in the world. He just didn't have the one he needed. Which is dramatic irony.
Can we get to the vomit-worthy part of this?
Yeah, let's go to the vomit.
The Evil Queen and Rumple.
Oh,
hold on, let me read it.
I literally just...
Let her read it.
And it's from Daniela. Am I the only one who was grossed out and felt awkward in all the ways with the Evil Queen flirting with Rumple in the present and Rumple flirting in the past? No, you are not. I was like, what the fuck is this? He sniffed her. What is this creepy shit?
Who thought of this?
Especially because they never had this kind of relationship. They've always more mentee.
I just want to know who had this idea. Who had this idea?
Yeah, seriously.
Why? Who were
everyone was disgusted.
Whoever had the idea is nuts, because that's, oh my god, I could literally feel my skin crawling.
And not just who had the idea, who heard the idea and said, yeah, sure, we should do that.
Because, I mean,
Eddie?
It's one thing for... It was bad enough watching Rumple do that shit with Cora. But we've already seen the flashbacks between Regina and Rumple, and their relationship was never like that. Ever.
And so, there were a couple of times where it was a little dodgy, where I was like, what are they doing with this?
And I know that the Evil Queen, as she is right now, is conscienceless, but she also has all of Regina's memories. So I know she remembers losing Robin. So that was just gross.
Oh, and let's just brace ourselves. Let's brace ourselves for the Evil Queen throwing herself at anything until she gets shoved back into Regina.
Hell, she threw herself at Regina.
Yes, that's also true. Okay, throwing herself at anything that moves.
Including herself.
I'm sorry,
but I'm not shocked. Because Regina is that much of a narcissist that she totally would sleep with herself. Didn't I say that? I said that earlier in the season in one of the, that Regina, I would not be surprised if she threw herself at Regina, and I was right.
All I'm gonna say is, and we know there's precedent for this because of what she tried to do with Charming back in season 1. She better stay her nasty ass away from Killing Jones.
Honey,
Yes.
she's already thrown herself at Killian. She's done it twice.
I know
She
that
got shot down both times. That was before he was in love with Emma.
I'm not worried about Killian's part in this because I know he would never do that, but I just don't. Yeah, I don't want to see that shit. I don't want to see that shit ever. Okay.
Question: did I miss any good questions?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm getting conflicting answers because Rose says yeah, Michelle says no.
Well,
let's go to the next question. Then.
Yeah. Okay, this is on the Evil Queen and Selena. This is from Daniela. What are your thoughts on Selena's possible betrayal to Regina and the heroes and her would-be alliance with the Evil Queen? Is she brainwashed or is she willingly going along? And it's definitely the latter.
Hi, you answer first. Since you
Okay, I really don't care. And number 8, first, I really don't care. Second, I really don't care. And 3, I'm pretty sure she's playing both sides. So it's better for her. Okay, who didn't know the Darth Vader?
Yeah, why does it sound like Darth Vader is on the call?
Yeah. Okay. This is creepy. I'm about to get murdered.
Wow.
We hear a lightsaber, everybody run.
Ro, your opinion?
I can't.
Ro?
My opinion on Selena?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, you are the Selena fan.
And cosplayer.
Oh dear. Well, I can't really say what's going on with her because it's just too early to tell. But she hasn't made any decisions. She hasn't aided or abetted her other sister just yet. I think she's just annoyed with her how accusing Regina is at the moment. She's just minding her own business.
I would disagree about the aiding and abetting because she did lie to Regina that the Evil Queen was back. I mean, she knew when she showed up at the town line. She knew that the Evil Queen was back, and Regina asked her straight up, "Do you know who did this? Who got into my vault?" And she said no. So that's aiding and abetting to me because she straight up lied. Now, I think she's going to be enamored with the Evil Queen. That has convinced her that she's the sister that Lena wants. But eventually she's going to cry and is going to be like, sorry, this is too much for me, I'm out. But as of right now, I think she's intrigued by the Evil Queen's presence, which is why she lied.
It seems to me like she's somewhat conflicted. Like, when she first saw her, she was like, oh, this could be interesting. And it seemed like she was just kind of going along with it to suss her out, figure out, like, what she was all about. But then when she didn't initially tell them at the town line what was going on because she still wanted to see what Regina was going to do. But when she realized what she was really going to do, I think now she's starting to see, okay, this might not have been such a good idea. Because she never really knew Regina when she was at her worst. She only met her, like, really got to know her after Regina had started changing. So she's never really seen the Evil Queen per se. So now she's going to get the bigger picture of it. I would like to think that Zelena would want to do better by her daughter than to, hook up with this shit. I would hope she would put her personal jealousies aside about Regina's actions and do the right thing for once. But Zelena being Zelena, she's the wild card. You never know what way she's going to go because she always makes decisions based on what benefits her. You know?
Like mother, like daughter. Daughters.
But she's not. But it's not. But she also knows though, and this is what makes it different, is that she's not. It's not just about her anymore. She's got her child that she's got to think of. So, you know, that could change things.
Okay, then if you guys don't have any other opinions about Zelina, we can go to the next question.
This is on Captain Cobra Charming. Daniela asks, what did you think about the Captain Cobra Charming scene at Granny's?
I don't know. I'm expecting more Captain Cobra, especially. I hope we get it in the following episode because we were promised. So, and also Captain Charming. We were promised this huge Captain Charming bromance thing, and they haven't delivered. They haven't delivered
only the second
yet.
Episode. It's only the second episode.
Yeah, but I think if they have to build this friendship, and then I'm guessing tear it down when Charming discovers whatever is going to.
Yeah,
we
got
don't know
questions about that.
Yeah, we don't know, but we can guess because they're very predictable in these things. So I hope it's several episodes in which they get to build a friendship and not like just like good form, which of course I loved, but it was just one episode in which they bonded and then they forgot, basically, the writers.
No, they were
so I hope it's... Sorry?
There was scenes. It's like they forgot about it.
Yeah. I mean, I just hope it's something that builds. And it's not like just, or we're gonna pair them up for one episode.
I think it will, but now that they got this coin thing, and the question of what really happened to David's father, I keep seeing
I have questions about this.
Okay,
no, hey, let me say something.
Can we talk? Can we talk about the actual Captain Cobra Charming scene? The scene in Granny's. Let's talk about that first. That's what I was trying to get everybody to talk about. Don't talk about Charming's dad.
It was absolutely adorable. I love it. I love those scenes where you have see how as much as Killian has been trying to fit into the monoworld, he's still not entirely there yet. It's so funny when that look on his face when he has no idea what you're talking about. when Henry was talking to him about the movies, he was just like, Dave, what is this child saying? I'm clueless. That was so fucking funny.
Okay, I will say something. Henry, well, I know Michelle has a problem with Henry, why he godfather do. When his age.
It's not that I have a problem with it. It's that I'm like, he's 13. He's got two active mothers. How did he see this film?
But my problem is more from my
Did Bagel show it to him?
Probably. Okay, my problem was more from my film student perspective. There's no way in hell. Like, Henry, I'm worried about you. You think Temple of Doom is better than Raiders of the Lost Ark? Seriously.
Okay, wait. He says sequel. No. He says sequel, and technically, Temple of Doom is the sequel to Raiders of the Lost Ark, even though Temple of Doom chronologically happens before Raiders of the Lost Ark. What my problem is that Last Crusade is also a sequel and is better than Temple of Doom. So
yes. I was going to say Last Crusade, not Raiders. I was going to say Last Crusade. But yes, Last Crusade is much better. Like, seriously, Temple of Doom, of all the sequels? Temple of Doom? My film student had a big issue with that. So.
I was hoping he would say Winter Soldier. He would say Captain America Winter Soldier. That's what I would have preferred.
Right?
Or Superman 2. He could have said Superman 2. That would have been acceptable also.
Yeah, but Temple of Doom? I mean, come on.
Or The Dark Knight.
Henry.
Or he also could have said Star Trek 2, The Wrath of Khan, which is widely thought of to be the best Star Trek film of all time.
Yeah, it's like whoever wrote this just picked the second movie in a popular franchise and plugged it in rather than actually thought it through.
Because the rest of the movies he said were good ones, but really, Temple of Doom. I mean, I still want to know. He didn't say the alien one. At least he didn't say the alien one.
I mean, okay, here's my thing with The Godfather. When I was 13, yes, I had seen The Godfather and The Godfather 2 because my parents were cool like that. But given who Henry's parents are, specifically, how and when did he find time to see The Godfather and The Godfather 2? Because there's a horse head in the bed. There's Michael taking care of all family business at the end of The Godfather, and then there's poor Fredo in Godfather 2. And I'm like, how did he see these films? And I just don't, because he's 13 now. He had to have seen them when he was 13 or younger. So how did this happen?
We're also talking about the same kid who.
And he had to have watched them in the years after the cruise broke. Because they hadn't come out yet, right?
We're also talking about the same kid whose parents let him wander the town on his own for extended periods of time and don't seem to be worried about what he's getting up to.
Why I had this theory that it was Bagel. That it was part of the Bagel bonding.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I can totally see it.
Something Bagel would do.
Right? Man, kill your kid Godfather and teach him to pick up chicks.
Are we going to talk about bagel genes again?
Oh, that's why I picked Temple of Doom. It was his bagel genes.
Anyway, so let's go to the next question.
Okay, so these next three are all about Captain Charming, and they're all speculative about what people think where the storyline is going with Charming. If you're avoiding spoilers, you might want to tune out for the next 5 or 10 minutes while we talk. The first, they're all from Anonymous. I love Snowing, but if Hook has something to do with David's dad's death, then I'm not ready for their biased reactions. What are your thoughts? I knew the show was going to do the BS about Charming's dad dying because of Killian, but it still makes no sense. What do you guys think about it? I know Killian has a past with Captain Nemo, whoever he is, but I wish we didn't have drama with Charming too. And the last one is, I just finished tonight's episode, and now we're getting this ridiculous story about David's dad's dying was not an accident. It would be fine, but to me, it's not, because I heard a spoiler about Charming and Killian having complications, and I'm not here for that. Second thing, that's about Regina. Oh, yeah, that's about Regina. So I'll read that later.
Oh.
The next part of that is about Regina. I will read it in a minute.
Okay,
who wants to start?
I'll start.
Right, go.
I love Captain Charming. I'm above all things, except Captain Swan and Bobby Charming. But, and half of me is excited because it means a David plot that has nothing to do with Snow. And you guys know those are my favorites. And honestly, they are the best written ones. Let's face it. They're so small. They're so small then. Oh, well. Not small, but
nuanced.
Not nuanced. They're so out of the norm, or like 1 in a million, because they're like 1 every 2 seasons. So I'm excited for that side. on the second side of things, I'm like, really, if they make Kellyanne be a part of it, like, also that it would make no sense chronologically if he was, because I'm pretty sure they have no idea what they're doing with Killian Jones chronologically. Like, they forget that he was in Neverland for 300 years.
Except he was
and that
to get Pan's supplies. So it could have been on a supply run.
It could be, but that would be like...
So I can
like overcomplicate things.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, but it could be, right? But like,
because Cora didn't cast that spell until shortly before Emma was to be born. So anything prior to that is, up for just about anything. Killing.
Well, we know he got out. He got out of Neverland shortly before the curse was cast. He's in the Enchanted Forest. That's how they run into him in the past during Captain Swan movie. So he gets out before the curse was cast, at the very least, and then he goes to he uses that time to try and figure out where Rumble is, and that's where he finds out that Regina has Belle, and he busts into Regina's castle, and blah blah blah. But what I'm saying,
he also killed his dad and all that. But
that's after he knocks out Belle.
Yes,
but the stuff with Charming said his father died when he was 6 years old, so it was at least a good 20 years before
that. But what I'm saying is he did spend his entire 300 years in Neverland, popping back to the Enchanted Forest for supplies to get the Lost Boys, snickerdoodles and whatever. So he could have been on a supply run when Charming's dad died, and Charming's dad was a drunk, and pirates hang out in taverns, drunks hang out in taverns. So theoretically, it is possible. However,
yes,
I don't think they're going to go so far as to have Killian directly actually responsible for the death of Charming's father. He's not going to be the dude like stabbing him or whatever that he's how, or it's going to be Captain Nemo who was involved, and this is a replay of when Liam came back in the underworld, where Killian sided with Liam over Emma for 30 seconds. I was a little hurt, but it's clear. I mean, it's clear where this is going. They teased at Comic-Con that Charming and Killian were going to have their bromance, and it was going to be tested by something big, and that Charming was going to find out something out about his past. Now, it seems pretty clear that those two things are connected. I don't think they would sunder the Captain Charming friendship to the point where Killian is physically responsible for the death of Charming's dad, because that would just be a bridge too far.
I hope not, but these are these writers. And I don't trust with these writers.
I mean, for all we know, he could have seen him in passing, getting drunk at the tavern, and maybe he got into a bar fight with one of the patrons there, and just didn't do anything to stop it because he doesn't know him. So why should he care? And his father wound up getting killed in a bar fight. I mean, it's anything's possible. But you are right. I don't think they would go so far as to say that he killed Charming's father, because that's something that would be very, very hard for Charming to forgive, like extremely hard. I don't think that wouldn't just tarnish their bromance. That would like almost destroy it. And yeah,
Charming is not the forgiving sort. I love the guy, and that's part of why I love him, because he's not the forgiving sort. He still glares at Regina every 5 seconds, which I appreciate.
I don't care to speculate on it. I'd rather just see it all unfold first. But my honest opinion, if they really do go there, so what? I mean, are we not watching the show where Snow White wants to be BFFs with the woman who killed her father and separated her from her daughter for 28 years.
But Killian is not Regina. They make Killian pay for everything.
Yeah.
So that's what works.
And Charming is not Snow. We just got done saying that Charming doesn't really forgive, and that way he does, it takes like a really long time. So
I just think it would be a little hypocritical if Snow found out and was like not supportive of Captain Swan or of Killian being better anymore.
He hasn't been supportive. He hasn't been exactly the most supportive person ever, so. And yes, it would be highly hypocritical, but Snow is highly hypocritical.
But I think we all know how Emma would feel. It's in the past. It happened before she was even born. She loves the man he is now.
I mean, Regina.
Just to play devil's advocate, I mean, this is Emma's grandfather. Although Gina killed her other grandparents, so whatever.
Yeah,
I don't think she has forgiven Regina completely. I think she says she does. She doesn't really.
Yes.
Look, I'm just saying, whatever it is, they'll get past it.
Oh yeah,
I mean, I agree.
He's loyal to writing.
I'm just concerned that they're going to botch the delivery of the storyline.
They're not good with the follow through.
Their concepts are always good. It just, when you see it actually play out, you're just like, oh, that's not really that insightful.
Yeah.
And not only that,
I was gonna make a very, very, very dirty joke, and I chose not to. Are you proud of me?
And
yes.
Not only that, but not that Charming's father shouldn't accept responsibility for his own actions, but he wouldn't have been in the place that he was in emotionally and with the drinking and all that, because Charming had said, or at least his mother had said, that he started drinking heavily after they made the deal with Rumpelstiltskin. He had to give up James. He couldn't deal with the fact that he had to give up one of his sons. So if anybody bears a good deal of responsibility for what his father became emotionally, I would like to think it's Rumpelstiltskin.
But here's the problem. This is Ruth telling Charming, and Charming was 6 years old at the time, and this is Ruth presumably telling Charming when he's a little bit older. So, I mean, Charming doesn't really remember the man that well, and Ruth doesn't want to really badmouth her husband that much. It's all, and now you've got, the evil queen showing up and saying, well, what if it wasn't an accident? All like, woo. Like, it's this nefarious thing, and it's possible that it's not going to be as bad as Charming is expecting, but I totally understand why Charming wants answers.
Okay, and can we point out that Charming and Emma had the exact same reaction to a secret? Like, I am in awe of Joss and Jen, because Jenny might look like Emma, like Jennifer, but they don't really have the same mannerisms. Josh and Jen have a lot of the same mannerisms, so you can easily believe that they're father and daughter. They had the same exact reaction to the secret. Like, oh yes, everything's fine. I just need to take a little bit of air.
That's true.
And Killian being like, these Charmings are gonna kill me again someday.
Anyway, let's go to the next question.
Okay, we're briefly jumping back to Regina. Sorry, everybody.
I didn't think I had to complain about it.
Okay, but here, this is from Anonymous. I wanted to ask, what is with this show pandering to Regina? Emma kills Cruella, and everyone thinks she's consumed by darkness for protecting Henry. Yet Regina does the same thing, but she's somehow praised for it.
is Regina, and she has that.
Yeah,
and Snow did the same thing.
Yeah, like I don't understand
Snow
this logic.
Cora, and everyone was like,
Yeah,
"Oh, Sam, you Snow, you have a blank spot in your heart now."
Yeah, it's like this doesn't make sense. When Snow killed Cora, Cora had made it perfectly clear that she was never going to stop. That she would not stop until Snow and everyone she loved was dead. So as far as I'm concerned, Snow was protecting her family and did what needed to be done. And then Emma was doing the same thing with Cruella because she didn't know that Cruella couldn't kill Henry. It wasn't like Cruella couldn't find someone else to kill Henry for her. Cruella was a psycho, and she defended her child. So why is that turning her dark or tempting her to the darkness or whatever the F? And now Regina does the same thing. Kills who's technically innocent because his heart was taken, but the evil queen had it, and he was never going to stop either. What needed to be done, and yet again, now her still there. What the F?
Also, she was cleaning up her mess. This
true.
wouldn't have happened if he hadn't set this in motion. And two things. First, in the whole that testing, and then in the whole, oh yes, I'm gonna split myself.
And another thing is, how many Black Knights or Knights of King George or whatever has Charming killed? Yet no one thinks that Charming has, darkness in his heart, even though his heart's technically gone now. So it's like,
that's true.
What?
It's Charming.
It's like, wait a minute, you don't make no sense. It's okay for Charming to kill dudes in combat, but yet it's not okay for Snow or Emma or Regina to protect her family without supposedly having darkness in them. What the F? What is the moral crap on this show? It makes no sense.
I guess they just need it. They need to do whatever they have to do to suit the narrative, I guess. I mean, narrative at that point in season was Emma's darkness, so they had to make it look like, whoa, she killed somebody in cold blood. But really it was to defend Henry, but whoa, she's going to be dark, and but it was also kind of sly because that wasn't the darkness that they were talking about. It was a lead into what was going to happen in season 5. Even then, she wasn't entirely dark, but I don't know. We do know that Regina is like the placeholder for Eddie and Adam, so they're going to prop her up no matter what and give her all the kudos. I mean, I'm still fucking pissed off about the scene at Granny's Diner where the three of them are sitting there having a drink and talking about what happened after the Count died. She's like freaking out that, oh my God, the worst person in the world, I killed the Count of Monte Cristo. And here's Emma exhausted, her hands shaking. That's the second time now that Snow's seen it. And all Emma says is, I'm fine. And Snow just goes right back to Queen. I'm like, that's your daughter. That's your daughter. And that's the second time.
We know that.
That's the second time that you've seen this happen. And as soon as she says she's fine, you just blow it off. What the fuck? Really? What the fuck? What does she have to do for you to give a shit about her well-being? Honestly.
I was going to say die. But we have been through that. And she didn't really care.
Try to get back together with Bagel. Snow cared about that. The way they write Emma and Snow just boggles my brain. I don't understand it. What bugged me about that scene with the three of them in the diner, why in the hell are Snow and Emma still propping Regina up with this evil queen fuckery? Like, why are they supporting her with this shit? Like, it bugged me in the finale, and it still bugs me.
At least we know that Emma is kind of faking it. So that's good. At least we know Emma's faking it. Like, that, I'm pretty sure that was one of my favorite scenes in the episode. Like, I don't think it's going to be Regina because we're not that lucky. But I like that scene. Like, Oh yes, Emma does not like Regina, care about Regina, or trust Regina, and it makes me very happy.
You know, as
I
much
wouldn't
as
be
she,
surprised.
as much as she freaks out about what the evil queen might possibly have in store, I'm like, you know something? There's a very simple way that you could fix this problem, and that would be not separating yourself in the first place and accepting the fact that you did wrong and that there is no good or evil part of you. There's just you. You fucked up. You made mistakes, and now you have to accept responsibility for them. You can't excise them by trying to get rid of the darker parts of yourself. That's not how it fucking works. If you'd accepted that instead of taking the potion, we wouldn't be in this mess, would we?
Yep.
But you still haven't.
It still hasn't had sex already.
It still hasn't burrowed. It still hasn't burrowed into her brain. She still refuses to accept responsibility for her actions. She might apologize for what she's done, but it's mostly to get people off her back. She's not really accepting responsibility.
One time in the show, one fake apology to Belle, and then to her horse, and to her dad. I think that's it. Right? Am I missing any non-apologies? We got the Belle, the horse, and dad.
The horse.
Pretty much.
I can't believe the horse scene happened.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, trust me. That's why I keep mentioning it. Because I still can't believe it.
Okay, let's go to another question.
Okay, we're finally on the Captain Swan questions, but I'm gonna skip the one about the house because we're gonna get into that next week.
Yes.
Danielle, this one's from Daniela. What are your thoughts on Emma still not telling Hook and her family and friends about her cursed savior premonition and Archie's guidance to help her to tell her loved ones the truth?
Well, first of all,
she's her father's daughter.
Oh, yeah, basically that. I was shocked that Archie actually gave good advice for the first time in the entire series.
I was stunned.
And I understood the reasoning this time. I mean... And it's more related to a little thing I like to call stretching the plot. They couldn't focus too much on Emma in this episode, so they had to go for another one.
I still don't like it, although I do appreciate that Archie did have good advice and the therapy was a waste of time, like I thought it was going to be. So that's one positive out of it. But, as Serena said, Emma is Charming's daughter, and this isn't gonna come out until she's forced to have it come out. But I've mostly made my peace with that now. I'm not as angry as I was after the premiere. It's just a fact that I need to accept and move on.
Honestly,
I feel that kind of finger is not good for your blood pressure.
I feel really sad for her. That she feels like if she's not the savior, then who is she? And you know who I blame for that way of thinking? Everybody in that fucking town.
Oh.
Because since the moment she moved there, that's what her entire life has been about. Being the savior and fixing everybody else's problems.
Wait a minute. This has been Emma's problem her whole life, though. Is that I mean, that was what Firebird was about. She ran into this Chloe person and imprinted on Chloe and became a Belle Bonds person. And she imprinted on Bagel and became a bigger and better thief until he sent her to prison. This is what she does. She has no idea who she is at heart, so she and adopts an identity and that identity is not necessarily her. First it was an orphan, then it was, master thief with Bagel, then it was Belle Bonds person with Chloe, and now it's the savior. But she has no idea who Emma is.
Because she's always kind of been she's been whatever she had to be to get through life. Like you said, orphan, lost girl, thief, bail bonds person
Yeah,
savior. But the people in the town are perpetuating that by running to her for every little thing and expecting, thinking that they're entitled to get their happy endings because she's there, and that's her job, her lot in life. Like, she has no purpose other than that, and she can't be happy herself. That's what drives me nuts. This poor girl thinks that well, what if I lose my magic, or what if I die and nobody's, the happy endings won't be able to be given. Like, look, people have to find their own. It can't be just you.
No, but that's what I'm saying. That attitude from the townspeople is a byproduct of self-identity problem. This is an internal problem that she's always had, and this is now them finally forcing her to deal with it. So in that sense, I'm for this storyline.
Oh, I'm totally for it.
So glad. That's why I'm so glad she's with someone like Killian, who doesn't have those expectations of her, who loves her just for herself, who doesn't see her as the savior or the princess or this or that, just loves her because she's Emma. That's what she needs.
But to be fair, she is also the sheriff. So
that's
it's
just
not
a
surprising.
Job. That's just a job. She can quit that job.
Yeah, no one goes running to Charming. He's also a deputy. Go run to Charming for a change.
Exactly.
Regina's the mayor and has magic. Go run to her.
Emma's not the only person that has magic. You also got the fairies. I mean, she ain't the only person. Honestly.
But do the fairies still exist? I think Adam and Eddie have forgotten they exist.
No, they haven't, because we're going to have Shady Blue soon.
Seriously? I like to see Shady Blue.
I mean, it's frustrating that she hasn't told him, but I get why. Because, I mean, she just got him back from the dead. He's ready to start this life with her, and I think she hates to kill his hopes and dreams and everything else by having to tell him that she's going to die.
Well, she knows that. Okay, this is always my point, and I think this is the point of a lot of people who feel the way I do about the storyline, is that we absolutely 100% understand where she's coming from. Like, we get it. We do not need lectures on why she's doing it. Our point is that lying is wrong, and that Emma should understand. Like, she understands that lying is wrong. She knows what she's doing is wrong, and she's doing it anyway, even though we understand why. And all I want from the storyline is for Killian to say what Emma said in 414. Or 415. She told Killian, it's okay if you don't want to talk about this thing going on with you, but don't lie and say there's nothing going on. That's what Emma is doing. She's essentially telling people there's nothing going on when there is. It's like, you don't want to talk about it, that's okay. I just need Killian to tell her the exact same thing she told him. It's okay, you don't want to talk about this big thing, just don't lie about it. Because that's not okay. Lying is not okay. In a mature
especially after what happened in 5A. You would think she would have learned after what happened then.
Like, time to process, I get it. Time to talk to Archie, okay. But now she and Archie has advocated her telling her loved ones, and she's still not telling them. And it's probably going to go on for several more episodes. Except that this is happening. I understand why it's happening. But I need her to face consequences when this all goes down. When this comes out, I need her to face consequences, i.e. someone telling her your behavior is not okay. It's like we all cheered when she told Killian that lying wasn't okay. Now we all need to cheer when Killian tells her that lying isn't okay.
Well, people will cheer, no worry.
But timeline-wise, I know for us it's been like over a week, but for her it's just been like a day.
True.
Yeah, but if this goes up all the way, if this goes up in 606, which is Killian's episode, then it's going to have been 3-4 days. Not okay.
I think she'll be able to understand it more when she meets Aladdin.
Yeah. Which is going to be like, what, 2 to 3 days? Still a good period.
That's why when we were initially talking about this last week, I thought it would I was pretty sure it would take her at least 2 episodes going into process and come to terms, and then right around episode 3 or 4, she would finally tell him. I think we're getting to that point soon.
She's about to tell him something.
No spoilers. We'll see what it is. We don't know what it is. We'll see it tomorrow. Who knows?
I know. I am so shocked. I cannot. I can't even imagine what it could be.
Tomorrow is gonna be someday. So next question.
Well, that's good too.
I'm just gonna say, I'm glad I won't have to hate to write a review tomorrow, because it's so much easier when I like the episodes.
Okay, if you were to do couple therapy with Captain Swan, what advice and pep talks would you give them?
Talk.
Communication is key, people.
Communication, yeah.
Yes.
Talk.
Honesty is good. That's what I would say. Honesty
also,
is good.
Without honesty, there is no trust.
And a good way to the relationship is to have a lot of sex and don't let others interrupt you. Yes,
it's stress relief.
Amen.
I'd sit down and be like, okay, you two need to have sex, like a lot. Like, if you want, we can barricade the door or something, or make it soundproof. But just have sex, please. Which would probably think I was weird, and I'm gonna be like, I don't care.
I would tell them both, if you have to go out in the middle of the woods to that rickety-ass cabin just to have a moment, fucking do it.
Turn off your phones.
Turn off your phone. You know, whatever you have to.
Don't tell anyone where you're going.
Whatever it takes, don't lose those moments, because you already know that you don't get very many of them in the first place. Rip that pirate's clothes off and do what you need to do. Seriously.
Do it in the Bug. Do it in the Jolly Roger. Just do it.
Yeah, take the Jolly Roger out into the bay, be incommunicado, and don't come back until you're both exhausted.
Well, not the Jolly Roger, because Belle's there.
Oh.
Belle can go. Belle's spending the day at the library.
Yeah.
Okay, so we all agree we can all be therapists.
Of course, and we'd be much
to fictional characters.
Yeah. Okay. Next question.
Well, the next one is about 603, so we're gonna skip it. Sorry.
Yeah.
And then this one's about 603, but it's not. It's about what we've been talking about. Do you guys think that Emma will tell the truth to her family and Hook will tell the truth to her family in the next episode, or do you think it'll be later? I think it will be later. I don't think it's going to be in 603.
I think it's going to be in the 11 episode.
Hook maybe, but not her parents.
I think for maximum drama, she will be found out. Like, she won't choose to tell. She will be forced to tell, or maybe someone else, like the evil queen, somehow will find out or hide, or whoever else will tell. So, because
I agree, because if they're paralleling the Neverland thing with Snowing, David was forced to tell Snow the truth with the cave. So they're going to go a similar route with Emma in this whole thing. Okay, next one.
I think so too.
It is, what are your thoughts on the Aladdin arc and the Captain Swan Jones family scenes, but we only need to talk about those. Aladdin, what do we think? There's so much to talk about with Aladdin, because we've only seen him once.
I mean, it's pretty, but I don't know anything else about him.
I know what the movie tells me, but I don't know what Once is going to do to my beloved Aladdin, and I'm mildly concerned if the Count of Monte Cristo.
I'm actually kind of excited. I'm kind of excited for him to show up because I have this feeling that when she finally meets him and gets a chance to talk to him and really understand the savior mythos and what he went through, it'll make it easier for her to come clean with her family once she really gets a grasp on it. Right now she feels like she's alone and doesn't know what to make of it. But with someone who's already been through it and can talk, and someone that she can talk to about it, it'll make it easier for her to open up to everybody else.
But that's provided she's not found out first. Because remember, she had Elsa to talk to too, and she still rejected her family and tried to give up her magic, even though she had Elsa. You know what I mean? So just because she has someone to talk to does not necessarily mean that's going to give her the confidence to confide in her family. Because she has this tendency, as we've been talking about, to imprint on someone. That if Aladdin is all doom and gloom, that may make her doom and gloom worse.
I am excited to see Karen as Jasmine, like really excited. Also to see Henry back at school. Like,
oh
seriously,
my God.
The kid's an idiot, and he obviously hasn't learned, so he needs school.
Oh my God.
I mean, I was smarter. When I was 13, I was a lot smarter. I'm just saying. And I'm also writing a lot more books. Obviously. Not just the same book 10 times over. You know? Not gonna change. Even if it's a basketball book. Seriously, Henry. You're going to be that idiot jock, aren't you?
I'm just happy that they're making this whole Aladdin thing connected to Emma and the Savior mythology. Because if they hadn't, I would have been worried that, oh no, Jasmine is totally going to bond with Regina or being in love with Thief or something, blah, blah, blah.
Oh my God. Please, no. Just say no.
What? I didn't hear that part.
Just say no to bonding with Regina.
Oh, this reminds me of when everyone thought that Elsa and Regina were gonna be BFFs, remember?
Yeah.
Oh God.
I mean, Adam and Eddie thought that it was something Adam and Eddie suggested at the end of season 3. Then I believe the Frozen people got hold of them and they said, wait a minute, let's not do this.
Said hell no. They said hell no.
Because they changed they had the interviews at the end after the finale where they implied that both Regina and Elsa were so misunderstood. And then when they actually started promoting the new season, they had changed their tune and suddenly it was Emma and Elsa. So it was definitely someone at Disney who said, don't do it, don't you dare.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you do it, you horse.
Let it go, let it go. It's a stupid freaking idea.
Honestly, there's a reason why they never have anyone different with Regina.
All right, we've got 2 questions left, and they're about the cloaked person.
Okay.
So this is like long-term spoilers.
Mm-hmm.
Hooked on Killing for Life 28 asks, do you think Regina is the one that might kill Emma? And Daniela wants to know, what are your bets on who is the cloaked figure that Emma fights and dies or not dies? Well, it's not Regina. This episode pretty much declared that it wasn't Regina.
Yeah. I think it's Emma.
Like I said, we're not that lucky.
No, I think it's definitely Emma. I think she somehow gets the potion to split them herself in 2. I don't think she chooses. Yeah, I don't think she chooses to take it because it makes no sense. But definitely, yeah, she will kill herself because that's something they.
What if the evil queen forces her to take it?
Yeah,
that could be.
The one thing I thought it's possible if they want to go through with this Emma gets killed thing. It could be that the one who gets killed is evil Emma, and the one in the hoodie, the mask, the whatever is good Emma.
Yeah.
So that could be the twist, in which she ends up dying.
But her outfit is not very Emma.
But that's what. But that's
if you look at her outfit, it's not very Emma. It's not.
But either way, that still doesn't work because Regina tried to kill Evil Queen by crushing her heart, and that didn't kill her. So that's not going to kill her.
But we know that's the point. It's a prophecy. It's not going to happen exactly the way you think it's going to happen. So Emma's not going to die. It's just going to look like she's going to die. It looks like it's going to look like one half of her is killing the other half of her. Except we know with the Evil Queen that's not really possible. The two parts of her will reunite and she'll be fine.
Yeah, and I mean,
also you can saw the Evil Queen die.
Yeah, I mean exactly. What if you want to be precise? You can say that the Evil Queen died and then she came back. So they can do the same thing to Emma. Say, "Oh, Emma will die. She dies and then she comes back, and the two halves reunite." So
exactly.
I
like
believe
the Scarab.
That.
What?
Yes, that could work. Yes.
I believe that it's Emma under the hood, but only because I've always felt like Emma's own worst enemy is herself. Hook even point blank said this to her face at the end of 5A, that she was the one who was responsible for pushing away everyone. It was her choice, her actions. She's her own worst enemy. I don't buy into each savior has this enemy that they can't kill and who always gets the best of them, because that's just too, like, I don't know, that just seems like too easy. Like, oh, I've killed everybody else, or I've destroyed or vanquished everybody else, but there's this one big bad that gets the best of me. That's just like, come on. I think it's more internal. It's not some external force that's the problem. I think it's more that they've given up so much of themselves. They don't, and you know what they were saying about how do you do this? How do you go every day and use your magic or whatever it is and give back all these happy endings and go through all these things that you have to go through and have all those leaves plucked off of your tree until there's nothing left, and then you don't have a chance to deal with it. And then when you do deal with it, you have to deal with it all at once if you get that chance. And that's what kind of destroys you is the thought that I'm giving everything to everybody else and there's nothing left for me. And then you start to have those self-doubts. I'm like, can I still do this? Can I keep doing this? Can I keep this up? Or am I going to fail? Am I going to fail my family? Or these people are going to ask me for more things and I won't be able to give it to them. And it just compounds more and more and more and more until eventually you just fall apart. I think that's what's going to get to her. It seemed like the person in the hood is more of a metaphorical thing.
Yeah, it's the pressure that will get to her.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyone else on this?
No.
Well, I think we kind of covered this last week, didn't we?
Yeah,
everyone
we did.
agrees, basically.
Yes. Minus more information. This is my theory.
Yeah. It's a good theory. Hopefully they do it because I think it's a good theory.
Yes.
But they shouldn't wait too much to do it because otherwise it will become too obvious. So,
well, we're gonna know. They said we're gonna know by Christmas.
Yeah.
By Christmas break, we'll know who it is.
Don't write it. I hope somebody else writes it.
Yeah.
So it can be well written.
Let's hope. Okay, do we have other questions?
Nope, that's it.
Jane. Okay. Jane would do an amazing job with this. Yeah. Especially because she wrote those really great Spike episodes.
Well, if it's the finale or the winter finale, it's gonna be definitely Adam and Hedy. But who knows?
I know. Let me hope, Serena. Let me hope.
Okay, we don't know who it's gonna be. We just don't know. We have no way to predict it.
50-50 chance.
And since we don't have the titles for the finale.
No, not yet.
Okay,
we don't even know when it's gonna be because we don't know if there are gonna be pauses or other things because it's not like the schedule of the episodes is not like the other years. So we'll see. Okay, do you guys have any last comments on this episode?
No.
Well, I'm kind of a bit more intrigued by the Land of Untold Stories, or as I like to call it, Steampunk Neverland, because apparently it's a place where nobody like ages or everything is put on hold, and I'd like to just get some more backstory on that place because I like that stuff. I'm just not crazy about Hyde or the Evil Queen.
Can we say that Brendan Jones went there rather than a dumbass sleeping curse?
Makes sense.
Because that makes a hell of a lot more sense than the stupid sleeping curse nonsense.
Yeah.
I'm still not over that. Oh, I know what I'm gonna and I'm gonna be pitchy. Can you believe that Adam and Eddie went that far into erasing Anastasia that they retconned the fact that she's Cinderella's sister?
Yeah, I can't be. They have some balls.
They're so bad. They're so bad, and don't want to explain even 1 second, or be like, "Oh yeah, we fucked up with the Will Scarlet thing." And they just decided to retcon it.
Yeah, I
made it very clear.
I think they'd rather pretend that Wonderland doesn't
exist. They made it very clear that she was Cinderella's stepsister in Wonderland.
I thought it was pretty fucking ballsy that at Comic-Con that they went. I mean, straight up asked one of the fans straight up asked him to his face. He was like, "Hey, in Wonderland you had Anastasia, who they already came out and said was Anastasia Tremaine, Cinderella's stepsister, and then in this upcoming episode, just you totally recast the actress. What the fuck's up with that shit?" And he's like, "You know what? That? Yes, straight up, point blank to his face." And he's like,
"That person is my new hero."
And he said to him, "You know what? Here's my Twitter handle. Once we're done, let's talk offline." And I'm like, "Oh, that was coy, because you fucked up, and you can't explain it to anybody else."
That person is my real hero, because I was hoping somebody would say it, because nobody remembers Anastasia except for me. I like fight other cats.
Oh, I love.
But I will never forget. I know, Ro. You're one of these 5 other cats.
Have you considered the possibility that you're a lazy imbecile? Yeah, that's what she should have said to them.
I think Hillary would disagree with you because she's a major Will fan, and she was very pissed off when they severed things between Anastasia and Will without any explanation as to why. She's still pissed off now.
Hillary was delighted because it means she got to ship him with anyone else.
I was pissed.
Okay, then.
I was being pissed, obviously. If you can remember. And forget how.
Yeah,
we'll never forget.
We'll rant more about Anastasia next week.
Yes, I'm so excited.
That's not all we'll rant about.
But hopefully we like the next episode more. But who knows?
Oh, yeah.
We don't know. We have no idea.
Oh, that's not hard. It's not hard to like that episode more, even if Jane didn't write it.
Okay, so I think that's all for this episode, and we will be back next week to discuss the next episode, who may or may not feature Captain Swan themes. We don't know. And thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for listening. And bye.
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 Bye.